Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbe with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And you're listening to The Drop, our weekly podcast about running and running adjacent topics and anything we feel like talking about.
Yeah, man, what a week. I just like saying that at the start, just to imagine that we had a really awesome week. People are wondering what
it was a pretty good week.
It actually was.
And Robbe, how is your head staying cool?
Oh, because I'm wearing a Polar Tech fleece hat from Fractal. It's not even a sponsor.
Look at us. It dropped to 50 degrees and all of us are like winter.
Oh, I'm all in for fall.
I wore tights the other day on a run, and it was like in the 40s. I was like, I don't know what's happening.
I saw a guy today wearing like full tights, a Gore-Tex, like long sleeve jacket.
Yeah. Okay, I wear shorts today.
Wait a second though. Megan this weekend on her first run back. Was it your first run back?
If it was this weekend.
She wore tights and an insulated vest and a long sleeve shirt, and it was in the 50s.
No, it was in the 40s.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I think it was a feels like.
Hey, I mean, you want to get into those fall vibes. I get it.
Yeah. How's your head feel though in polar fleece? Is that too warm? Like, are you going to get hot?
No, I think it self-regulates.
It does?
Yeah.
It's like the alpaca fur.
It's like Warren G regulators. Yeah, it regulates.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, it's good. Like, I don't know. I like that. It's comfortable. It's nice.
See, that's going back sometime. That's the 90s.
Yeah. I know. All my
regulators mount up.
All my friends in central Pennsylvania thought they were real hard for listening to Warren G in 7th grade.
I wish I could remember some of that rap.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, we're moving on. So what should we get the sponsor?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to get the sponsor out of the way because Meg has a little treat she picked up.
You want to get in on it.
And I can't stop looking at it
Is that really the problem? You're like, once you saw it on the table, you're like, I just need to try that?
Oh, yeah. I can't focus.
Okay.
All right, Meg.
You need to throw it on the ground first, though, so I can get acclimated to it.
Put it by a trash can, and then he'll eat it.
Oh, wow.
I saw an unopened twisted tea on the way into work today.
Okay.
But my rule is if I want to drink it in real life, then I'm not going to drink it in found life.
So you wouldn't drink a twisted tea?
Yeah, I just wouldn't drink it normally ever. I'm not a Mike's Twisted Tea fan. Too sweet.
Okay. You're on a boat in Florida.
Yeah.
Sun's beating down. The guy opens up a cooler. It's icy. Sweat is dripping down the sides of the can. He says, hey, you want a Mike's Hard Twisted Tea?
I mean, I'm probably not going to say no. I had the Bojangles version, which was pretty good. But yeah, it's like I'm saying, it's fall. I'm out of the summer mode. I'm not getting it.
I don't understand. How does the word Bojangles just flow off your tongue like it belongs there? Like it sounds like it should be part of your lexicon.
Yeah, I probably should have grown up in Florida.
Kodiak is a sponsor again this week, and we've been talking about their peak oatmeal, which is basically the oatmeal that has protein added into it so that you don't have to add any, and it has 3 different flavors. Why are you handing these to me? These are
because you're gonna hand them out, aren't you? Don't we each get one?
Well, you can take it. I'm not gonna take it out of the bag for you.
Okay.
So anyway, we this weekend I made using the peak oatmeal, the brown sugar maple one flavor. I made oatmeal cookies.
Ooh, and that's what.
But they're like a healthier rendition, so it's like 250 calories, 10 grams of protein, 34 grams of carbs per cookie.
And we're gonna try them actually on the podcast.
I wouldn't even think of them as a cookie. Here.
Now, did you put anything?
It's more like a snack.
Did you put anything like that might be mind altering in these cookies, or is this just
THC?
Just wait an hour and we'll see.
Okay.
The end of this podcast could be.
I do want to warn you before you eat this, Robbe. I would consider this more of like you're running out the house. You got to take the kids to school. You don't have time to do the oatmeal.
Okay.
But it's almost like an oatmeal bar.
We called it the oatmeal you can put in your pocket. I think actually Robbe does that.
Yeah. Technically, you can put the other oatmeal in your pocket.
But
it's
it's
just
weird.
going to be,
It's a whole situation.
Be like Napoleon Dynamite's tater tots.
Actually.
Okay. It's pretty good. I can tell that it's not as much sugar as probably a normal cookie.
Correct.
This is a healthy version.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have some chocolate chips in it.
Yeah.
So it does give that little bit of sweetness that you need. And one, And yeah, I just douse this in brown sugar and then eat it.
Would you have
If you
some?
dipped it in some milk, it might be pretty good.
It needs some milk.
Do you ever crave milk?
Oh yeah, right
No.
now.
Yeah. Okay.
Right now.
Real quick. So, okay, get this sponsor. Do the
Okay,
link, and then I'll come back to this.
A couple more things about the Peak is each serving comes with 20 grams of protein. So if you're actually just using this as a meal or whatever, it pretty much has everything you need in it. 40% less sugar than the original Kodiak oatmeal. And if you want to get some, you can go to kodiakcakes.com/BIR for 20% off of the Peak oatmeal bundle, which comes with 3 flavors.
Okay, so the deal with milk is it like the chicken and the egg that milk, like why when you eat like a cookie do you want milk? That's what I don't understand. Why is that the drink you want?
It's the two textures that go together so well. The dry, crispy cookie with the chocolate.
Yeah.
You splash that milk on it, and it just like it's almost like it opens up the molecules of the cookie.
But how did that start? Where was the, like, what did people do before that? Did you just crave water with their cookies or what?
They didn't make cookies back then.
No. So the milk preceded the cookies?
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
cows were hanging out.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Think it, Nestle Toll House cookies were made by Mrs. Toll House like in the 1800s.
I thought they were made by elves.
No, those are Keeblers.
Oh.
You got to keep your cookies straight.
But isn't the Toll House part of the community of elves?
What
No.
was the date that you said for the
1920.
I thought the elves had to pay a toll to get over to their tree.
I'm going to say the chocolate chip cookie was invented in 1920 or something like that.
Okay, it was not Mrs. Nestle for starters.
No, I said Toll House.
He did say Toll House.
Okay, well, it was Ruth Wakefield
Yeah, she lived in the Toll House.
in 1939.
So
1939. I knew it was like sooner than we thought.
So she charged the elves to get to their house.
Okay.
Over the toll for the toll bridge.
Imagine this though. War breaks out. You're in this miserable state. Nothing could get worse. People are getting massacred all over the world.
Yeah.
And then this lady comes up with a chocolate chip cookie. You've never had a chocolate chip
Imagine
cookie
how
before.
privileged you have to be. You're in the middle of a world war and you're there inventing chocolate chip cookies.
And not only that though, it brings
Amazing.
joy to the world. Like, can you imagine the first chocolate chip cookie? Like, there was probably nothing else out there. They're probably eating shaved ice with like syrup on it.
Oh yeah, if you see cookbooks from like the 1930s,
Boiled pig's head.
it's just like foods from England that are disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop eating this because I feel like I'm chewing into the mic, and I apologize for that.
It gets thick.
That's good though. I
You do like
definitely-
it?
I definitely put those in my pocket.
All right. Meg, can people look at that recipe?
Yeah, by the time this podcast comes out, you can go to believeintherun.com and get that recipe and make your Peak oatmeal cookies.
Yeah.
Could you, if say that for some reason you're like, hey, I love Believe in the Run. I'm not going to go buy Peak oatmeal. Could you do this recipe with regular oatmeal?
You probably could, but
It wouldn't have that protein.
yeah, it wouldn't. You wouldn't have the protein added and
Yeah.
the sweetness.
It
So
just-
yeah, just use the. If you're gonna do it, use the Peak
It just
oatmeal.
wouldn't be as good. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
I'll tell you what. I watched a little clip of our podcast, and I fidget the whole time with my hands.
Oh, really?
And I don't know how you guys don't do it. I'm looking over at you guys.
I know. I always play with the cords.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
I need like a fidget spinner or something. I'm like ADHD kid
One-
over here.
One time when somebody, it's like this outdoor podcast I was doing with my friend, and he gave me a piece of putty or like an eraser or whatever. You know, those art erasers, and you just play with that the whole time because it's quiet, but it's malleable, so you can it keeps your mind off.
I never realized that I can't keep my hands still.
Yeah. I'm glad you finally said it because I've been waiting 200 episodes to mention it.
All right, is this the 200th episode?
Oh, wait.
Oh shoot, it is.
Oh, it really is.
Holy cow, Robbie.
Wow. I didn't realize it was the 200th. I just thought we were close.
We thought about doing something real special, but here we are.
We did do something real special.
That's true.
Yeah, we made these are our birthday cakes.
Yes.
Kodiak cakes.
Dude, 200 episodes, no joke. We have we have millions of downloads.
And really, we have done kind of more than 200 because we used to have the interviews and our portion together. So in reality, it's almost probably closer to 300 or 250.
And I remember when we first started this, I was like, who the hell would want to listen to this? This is dumb.
I still
Yeah.
think that. I'm
We're-
still
I
wondering.
know.
Yeah.
It is cool, though, when we find out people are listening to it.
And that I'm just pressing play on Spotify on 10 different devices
Yeah,
over and over to
making
make
sure.
it look like.
Robbie has a
His
bank of
bot's out.
computers that he's like,
Yeah, it's like the Matrix at my house.
That's how much money we have. We have a whole database of, or not database. What do you call it? Like a room
Yeah.
of servers.
Remember in the like late 90s, like every movie was just basically had some plot line of a room with computer screens where things were happening. Every like thriller or drama movie.
Like Tom Cruise is like, I can see into the future. Look at me swiping in midair.
Remember? Oh yeah, when Minority Report came out,
Yeah.
you were like, "This is never gonna happen. This is
Oh,
magical."
I was like, oh, that's cool. That's where we're going.
Really?
Yeah. Little did I know it was only going to be a mobile phone that we were doing it on.
In 4 years from then.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, we had a good week of running.
Mm-hmm.
You're fully back.
I think so.
Megan's
Yeah.
fully back.
I feel like we're all back.
I think we
Is
are.
everyone back? Because we're never all
Dude,
aligned.
I feel like I'm coming back right at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like the pieces are falling in place. I've never been so excited to see how the rest of this goes.
Wow.
I'm actually kind of with you. Which
I know,
is
right?
A strange place to be in.
Okay, you guys both raced or
Did-
raced, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Baltimore half marathon this weekend. Let's talk about it.
Well, before we get into that, do you want to recap some of the stuff from last week? Because I want to talk about the
What happened
Emma
last
Bates
week?
interview
Oh.
and stuff like that.
What about it?
I just, if you haven't listened to it,
Oh,
you should listen to it.
I
I think it was a lot of fun.
I actually did watch it last night. I was picking crabs because we had some left over from my
Nice.
wife's birthday.
Are you making crab cakes?
Yeah, or whatever. We had like a dozen left, so I was like, I have to pick all these and
For people who
freeze.
don't know what that's like, that is torture. So Robbie is actually doing
Dude,
a labor of love.
I was there for like an hour and a half or 2 hours. I think my shoulders hurt this morning.
How are your fingers?
Yeah, they're tore up. But I watched it while I was doing that. So just so you know.
Well, I think here's what I'm excited about. I'm hoping Emma was great. And I'm hoping that maybe some of the other runners might see this and be like, you know what? That'd be fun. I wouldn't mind having Thomas shake up some martinis for me and drink and talk about my race.
Isn't there also something we wanted to clarify?
We do want to clarify.
Oh.
So in the podcast, I think that you would get the impression that there was some miscommunication between Emma and Emily Sisson on the pacer. And we just wanted to clarify that I don't think there was.
Oh, actually, I didn't get that perception.
Okay, cool. Because
I think you were worried about that, but I didn't actually think that when I was watching it.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you say it, Meg? Like it.
It just sounded like what Emma heard wasn't necessarily accurate of what Emily was trying to communicate. When she and the pacer kind of went off in a different direction, I think they were avoiding potholes versus picking up the pace. Isn't that what I'm...
Yeah, I think that's it. So, it's one of those things like I feel like you're in the heat of the marathon and you're struggling or whatever, and you're feeling fatigued in it when the pace picks up a little bit or something like that. You may think that people are pulling away when they weren't necessarily pulling away. They were just trying to avoid some potholes. So we just wanted to clarify that. And but the interview was so much fun. If you haven't listened to it, Emma was it was so easy to have the conversation, and I think it comes across. I was a little worried because, believe it or not, at the time I was a little tipsy from drinking, so I wasn't sure what it was going to sound like. So when it finally published yesterday, I listened to it and I was like, "Oh, this is fun. I like it." So,
You only embarrassed yourself like 5 times. So.
Yeah.
But I'm used to that.
Yeah, that's just standard.
No, it was good. It was definitely good.
Planner's penis.
And then, it caught me off guard too. You gotta give a hard T in that word, or else it really loses its meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool. I enjoyed watching that. And then, or is there anything else we need to cover about that?
No, let's talk about Baltimore.
Okay.
Our Christmas in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Why don't you give a background on it, Robbie? Because it really is something special in Baltimore, and I'm chewing.
Yeah. So I need to stop saying sorry about that. That's my thing that I notice I do, and I've tried to do better.
Wait till I get my money right.
I feel you.
Oh,
It does
that's gonna
sound
be
like
the
that.
song.
All right, first check-in. If you've already finished your marathon, then you get to cruise out the rest of this year with some nice, easy miles and enjoyable times. But if you're not done and you got like New York or CIM or one of the other marathons that's coming up at the end of this year, you're probably getting to peak mileage right now, or even better yet, starting on the taper. So enjoy those miles. Enjoy those. If you're having fun, just enjoy the fun miles. If you're getting ready for the race, don't get too stressed out. Just enjoy these miles. You've done the work. Let's roll it into the race.
So Baltimore Running Festival is kind of like, as Meg said, Christmas in Baltimore. It's where everyone you know in Baltimore who's running comes out. It's such a great time. And we usually don't get to run it, or because we've been working it the past forever.
Or like Chicago was a week before, so Megan was going to do it.
So like we used to do marketing for the Baltimore Running Festival, so we'd either be doing photography or other things, and just it was still fun, but never really got to run it.
But there's so many different distances. Mm-hmm. I think it makes it real easy to participate if you want to get involved.
Dude, they have a 0.5K the night before, which, did you see the video of it?
No. I didn't see the video.
It's actually kind of hilarious. So they do the start line and finish line, and then like you do a U like that, and they have a water stop, a station at the
Is it
corner.
in front of Pickles Pub? Or?
I think so.
Okay.
But like people like sprinted to like, I think you like might win something if you're first.
Probably free beer.
It was pretty funny.
I love it. Yeah, so they have a bunch of different distances. Thomas and I did the half marathon. Meg was still.
And also Jarrett.
And Jarrett, yeah.
And Chad.
I mean, just everyone.
Yeah, but I'm saying from the Believe in the Run team.
Oh, right.
We represented the Faster Bastards were obviously out there. A Tribe Called Run had a big showing. Mm-hmm. A lot of Runners Run, a lot of Riot Squad. What it is just fun because like some cities probably keep their squads separate. Mm-hmm. Baltimore kind of like, we all run together. Yeah. Like you may call yourself a Riot Squad runner, but you probably end up running with Tribe sometimes. Mm-hmm. You may be Tribe, and sometimes you run with Faster Bastards. There's a lot of commingling, but the great thing about an event like this, it just brings everybody out. Everybody comes together. Yeah. And it's just fun. You see everybody.
So Thomas and I rode our Engwe e-bikes over.
Or bat cycles.
Which, if you haven't read that review, you should read it. We reviewed an e-bike. Just let us have this one thing. Yeah. Like, come on. It's all running. We do shoes
all the time.
And it's super fun.
Can we talk about those bikes a little bit?
I mean, we can.
It takes me back. I feel I can't skateboard anymore because I'm too afraid that I'll fall and hurt myself.
We've seen.
Yeah. My equilibrium on top of a skateboard it's over.
I'd say on top of any moving object.
Right.
Pretty much.
It has wheels.
Well, I guess, yes, the Engwe has wheels, but it's just so much fun. Like you literally, I feel like Batman cruising through the streets on my bat cycle. It's got these big fat tires. I feel like laws don't apply to me. Like you can be a bicyclist or you could be a motorcycle.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like I hate the people who ride them.
I would hate it if.
The same with dirt bikes, but then once you're in the moment, you're like, oh, this is actually, I get it. All right, I'm here. I understand this lifestyle. I've had the same feeling that I felt like I was in the Dark Knight.
So
independently, we had that thought.
I think we should get capes.
It would be honestly, that would be an amazing costume.
With a big dressed up, Believe in the Run logo on the chest.
Yeah, and just resuming down the street.
It would.
But they're a lot of fun.
Do you know how? Okay, normally to get I rode it from our house to we had a tent for Faster Bastards at the finish line of the Baltimore Marathon. Yeah. To drive there would probably take me 20 to 30 minutes because of the way the streets work.
Oh yeah, and parking and whatever.
It took me less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
To get from my house to that tent on that
with minimal energy.
Yeah, like flying around like Batman.
It was nice because the streets were all pretty much closed for the marathon. So you could kind of just fly.
It was. I was like going, the cops were like, they just watched me go right by.
And you get so many compliments. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, people were digging them.
Compliments on your bike?
Oh yeah. Everywhere.
There was random strangers coming by when I had the bike at the Faster Bastards tent. We had this one guy, Robbie wasn't there yet. Mm-hmm. And he was just looking at the bike. He's like going over the stats. And clearly he knew something about electric bikes. He's like, this thing is this is a beast.
I've had just people randomly, like I pulled up to the beer store the other day to get NA beer, and the woman working inside was like, "That bike's awesome." Like, thank you.
What do you do with it when you go inside a store?
Well, there I just jumped in real quick, so I just parked it right in front of the door.
Wow.
Or in front of the window, so it was just I was in for 1 minute, so I wasn't too worried.
Okay.
We have an old school neighbor who like has been in Baltimore her entire life. She's like got in our neighborhood. She's got one of the row homes that like has never been redone.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like she raised kids there. The whole works.
Yeah.
I'm pulling my bike into the garage, and she's like out back. She's like, "You better be careful. Somebody with a gun is gonna take you right off that thing." I'm like,
Thanks.
"Ma'am."
But also accurate.
Yeah. But yeah, so we rode those, and it was raining.
Mhm.
It's got those big giant tires.
Yeah.
Handle
All right.
it.
Anyways, on to the race. So we did a couple warm up miles beforehand. 5.
That's more than a couple.
Yeah.
A few.
Me, you, Jarrett.
I didn't think you were going to do the pre-5 because I think you were doing shorter mileage.
No, I had an 18-mile run on the sketch that day because I'm doing the 2-week taper. So my 20 milers this weekend.
So you didn't do the cool down with us or after?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I like. I kind of
hated
hate
it.
doing a cool down.
I hated it. I'll get into that later,
Okay.
but yeah.
So we did a 5-mile run, which is nice to get started. But then we were you're still standing around for like 25 minutes before the race.
Well, what annoyed me is I kept saying, "Hey, we should go to the start.
Yeah.
We should go to the start." And everybody's like, we got plenty of time because it was raining. Nobody wanted to stand out in the rain, and we had a tent.
Right.
And I'm like, I think we should get to the start. Meanwhile, I did the 5-mile warm up in the Adios Pro 3 because I didn't want to put extra miles on the Evo 1.
Yeah.
So I switch out my shoes. I'm ready to go. I'm like, we should go to the start. And everybody's delaying. We finally start running up to the start, and we hear them going, 2 minutes to start. And we thought the start was on that area.
Oh, yeah,
that
they
it used
changed
to be.
it this year.
They changed it. So
Yeah.
we're in a panic trying to figure out where the start is.
Yeah.
So imagine 10 to 15 faster bastards just kind of like darting all over the place. Other people are walking. We're like bumping into them, getting them. We're jumping. I pull like a police tape and just break it and jump into the.
Probably things you don't want to say on here.
So
but
You're a real
okay.
bad boy.
Yeah. Well, you give me a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I get that leather
No
jacket.
laws.
Yeah. And yeah, we didn't have any White Claw, but we jumped in, and I mean, I had enough time to start my Koros, get the signal, and then we were gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when I was going to the start, I was planning on going with 2 faster bastards, and then they were like, had to go to the bathroom.
Were you going Chris and Fausto?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they had to go to the bathroom of that line of porta potties. And I thought to myself, I might as well give it one more shot, lose a couple more ounces before I start running. So, but I was rushing because they were taking a piss. And I was like, I might go the other way just to like make sure it's all cleared.
Do you have a button or something that just releases everything?
All systems go. I don't know. It's like pre-race. It's just nerves. I mean, there's nothing left on the table.
I've never met anybody who can do it as many times as you do before a race.
I don't know. It's just I get so nervous for whatever reason.
Like you should just start wearing a diaper.
It used to. What's crazy is, I mean, I'm not against it. They make those
Racing diapers.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll bet you could sell those.
That one wasn't open. That was good. You could definitely do that.
Imagine that. You're like, hey, it's a big race day. Why take any risk?
Okay, no.
Yeah.
Moving on.
We'll work on
pack
that.
pack your Robbies.
We'll work on that idea later. It's not a catchy enough name. We can do better. But anyways, so this story gets way better. So I'm going as fast as I can, like open the door, jump in, like trying to get out of there, and within 2 minutes, because the race is about to start. Well, sitting there, and all of a sudden the door opens, and it's a woman. And
Wait, you're sitting and you're face to face?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you know her?
Door opens quickly because obviously everyone's rushing.
Dude, why
to go
are
to the
you not
bathroom.
locking the door?
Because you didn't want to touch
This
the
is
handle.
this is what I'm saying. We were rushing to go to the bathroom, so I jumped in. I was like, you know how you have like your spy belt and like all this other crap, and I'm just like, just forgot.
All right, so
You're the problem here.
She makes eye
That's on
contact.
you.
Oh, I know I'm the problem.
Okay.
It's not anyone else.
How horrified was she?
Oh, we were both horrified. It looked like we both seen like not even the ghost, but I don't even know.
Was it like an immediate shut the door, or did it hold open and process what was happening?
Shut the door.
There was way too many sorries exchanged. We were both apologizing like we had, like, I don't know, murdered the other person's.
Did you see her on the way out?
Well, I didn't, because I gotta get out of here real fast now because I can't time it at the same time she's getting out of wherever she's at now. And so then I tried to get her back by opening all the doors on the way down. No, I'm just kidding. So I was going with Fausto and Chris then. I'm like, dude, like, this is the worst. This woman just opened the door straight on me and we're just like and we were like face to face.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room in those.
Yeah. And they were like, well, good. Well, like, you'll never see her again, and she doesn't know who you are. And I'm like, there's actually a pretty good chance that neither of those are true.
Yeah.
Like, because did you see her again?
Being in Believe in the Run and at a small, like, the running fest, like, smaller race.
And local. Yeah.
I'm like, there's a pretty good chance all of those are true. And I didn't see her again at the start line, but...
You got an email?
She might be listening to this, or she probably told one of her friends maybe. I don't know.
I can't wait for the email we're going to get after this airs. It's going to be so
And
good.
it's been, I don't even remember the last time that's happened to me in my life.
Probably the last time you didn't lock the door.
It's probably when I was a teenager.
And it was different?
Maybe a child.
Are you still not over it? I feel like you're still not over it.
Oh, no, I feel like I was over it because, I mean, the thing is, I have a pretty recognizable face. So if she sees me again, she's definitely...
No, I would be like, that was Coach Bennett.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. It's definitely Coach Bennett from Nike.
Oh, I don't know. It was also shocking. But
I almost didn't race just because my coach was worried. If you can't tell, I got a little bit of a cold. Yeah. She was like, I don't know if you should be running and trying to do effort with a cold. I'm like, it's mostly in my head. But now I feel like I'm paying for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel like it's getting... Usually they go away in like a day or two.
Yeah.
I feel like this one's lingering.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You have long cold vid.
Yeah.
Is that a new thing?
Just slap the tag on this.
I think they just call this a man cold.
Oh, yeah.
A man cold.
It's just life. Yeah. But so so it was raining during the race a little bit. Or was it? Or did it kind of stop?
Was.
It kind of stopped at some point?
It was on and off the whole time.
Okay.
Like you were out spectating. What do you think?
Yeah, I caught you guys for the first few miles and it was raining.
Was it? Really?
Yeah.
Oh. But
I was soaked.
I think you just start running and it's like you don't care anymore.
But there were plenty of puddles and whatnot, which is why I kind of went for the Nike Vaporfly Vaporfly 3 to run in because it doesn't hold any water.
I think it's a great shoe.
Yeah.
I know that we're kind of like, okay, Vaporfly's been here, we've done it. I thought this was a great update. I think it's a fantastic shoe. Like I've switched it out for some of my speed work in this training period. I love that shoe.
Yeah, I think some people, I can't recall, but I think maybe 2 might be a little bit bouncier.
No, 2 actually to me felt firmer.
Okay.
What did you think of the traction?
I didn't have any issues with it, but I did notice the heel rubber is not very grippy. So that was the only time, like when I was walking around, but running, I didn't feel like I had any issues. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was great for what we were doing. So yeah, I was trying to go out just like a hard effort, but maybe not. I mean, I was kind of racing it, but maybe not all out.
I felt like for me, Meg had asked me to do like marathon effort. Mm-hmm. And I think on this course, it's such a tough course. We didn't talk about the course. This half course has 700 feet of elevation, which doesn't sound like a ton. But
I feel like that's a lot.
That's what I said. Over 13 miles. That's a lot.
I was looking at New York. How much is a New York Marathon? Like 900 total.
Yeah, and over 26.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's pretty hilly for the 13. I didn't look at my watch. I just tried to go by like effort, pace, and stay in a zone where I felt comfortable. Like I wasn't working too hard, but still was like, kind of making an effort.
Yeah, that's kind of,
And I went with the Evo 1, and I love the shoe. I absolutely love the shoe.
For those unfamiliar, that's the new racing shoe from Adidas, the $500 one.
I thought you were gonna name all the names.
I don't feel like I thought about it.
Adidas, Adi Zero, Adios Pro Evo 1.
Yeah.
There it is.
So I went with that. It is for my size 10 and a half, 5 grams. It's like,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
it's sick. So I wanted to try it like at a harder effort in a race situation, because why not throw some miles on the shoe? Why not do it? I have to say, I think, yeah, if you're a pro, they're saying 100, like basically one race and trash. But for a marathon distance, I think for an amateur like myself, not running 5-minute miles, I can probably squeeze a couple 100 miles in on these.
You think so?
I do. Here's the
Whoa.
problem. I think I'm going to try. I'm going to just keep playing with it and see how many miles I can get on it. I know I talked to this guy, Corey, who writes for Outside Magazine, and he's already put 50 on his, and he thinks it's holding up pretty well.
Okay.
Okay, but talk to us about this
yeah.
outsole, because it looks
So,
shiny and not.
That's the thing. It's got this liquid rubber outsole that's really thin, and I was a little concerned with the rain. I thought, well, actually, this is a perfect conditions to test the shoe, because it's really wet out, and like it was raining during the race. The ground was wet. These are city streets with oil and dirt and all the stuff on it. And I have to say, the front part of the shoe performed really well. The rubber on the front gripped. I was totally happy with the way it gripped. And even coming down hills, like in the last part where we come down Cathedral Street, it's a pretty steep downhill, and I felt pretty secure with the front landing. Where the shoe fails is in the heel. Cut that out. Where the shoe fails is in the heel. Like, I don't know if it's because you can see there's a lot of exposed foam on the bottom here.
Yeah.
And then this rubber, I would guess it's the same as the black one, but it just didn't feel like. There's a couple times where I hit, especially on crosswalks and stuff, where you hit that paint, where I felt like I was hydroplaning on the back, like my foot actually slipped forward.
Yeah.
When it hit it. So I probably would not recommend this for a wet race at all. Even for the extra, I know that this is supposed to be the lightest shoe, so they were doing everything they could to drop the weight possible. If they added the Continental rubber, maybe even the Continental rubber just to the heel,
Yeah.
not even to the forefoot, I would probably go with that. But here's the thing. For $500, I feel like if this was your race day shoe, you would need 2 of them, because you'd need one with the Continental rubber on the bottom, like they ran in Germany,
Yeah.
in Berlin, and one like this. And you'd probably be like, if weather conditions were perfect and dry, you'd go with this one. If weather conditions were a little wet, you would go with the Continental one. But then you're talking $1,000 of shoes,
Right.
just to be prepared for your race. Other than that, fit.
Honestly, I'm shocked because, sorry, not to interrupt you, but I thought this midsole would be chunked out more. Like,
No,
I thought there would be pieces missing.
If you look, which one? Okay, like up in here,
Yeah.
I noticed there's like a little bit of damage.
Right.
But overall, it felt great. I wore it for the 13.1, and then we did 2 cool down miles. So 15 miles total. And then I just took them off and put them back.
Right.
Put the put the pros back on.
There's only 15 miles on those shoes.
No, I did that
you did that
workout. So there's 20.
29, 24.
You're not getting more than 100 miles out of that thing. Maybe 50.
I don't know. I love this shoe. Like, I think it's fantastic. It felt great underfoot. I do wonder if you'd actually like it, both of you, because you guys don't like necessarily the feel of the rods under your foot.
Right.
I can feel them in this.
Okay.
I wouldn't like
Like
that.
there's, how it has that one little piece that comes up across the toes.
Yeah.
Like I can feel that underneath my foot.
Interesting.
But
All right.
I really like
so
it.
you felt good during the race?
Yeah, I did. My legs felt great. I would go full 26 in these.
Well, I just meant personally.
Oh,
Like-
during the race. I mean, I ran with Jarrett. I always love running with Jarrett. We kind of kept it cool.
Yeah,
and,
you guys are basically Siamese twins at this point when it comes to racing.
Well, it was weird because, coming down the last mile or two, like I was like just cruising downhill. I think I just let my body like gravity take. And so I lost Jarrett for a little bit. And then we got into the, that finish line on Pratt where it's just like a straightaway.
Yeah.
Jarrett like came up
Yeah, dude was trucking.
And then he went past me. I think I was running a 6 something down that stretch, and he was in the 5s.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, man.
He dropped it into the 5s?
Yeah, on his Strava. It was like
what a nut.
550 or something.
Yeah.
Jared, what are you doing?
He was going, I mean, I loved it. I mean, the kid can kick. I mean, we went.
Yours, it says on yours 620.
Yeah, 620 for the last, I don't know, what is that, a tenth of a mile?
Two tenths.
Two tenths of a mile. And Jarrett dropped down to the 5s. So he was behind me, and then all of a sudden he got there. And when he came up alongside me, I was like, I don't have that extra step. I was like, I'm done. And Jarrett was able to cruise in. And
nice.
Yeah, he even, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Jeff Dengate came down to Baltimore, and I think he may have been announcing the race. I think he yelled out Jarrett's name.
Okay. Nice.
How did your race go, Robbie?
I thought it went pretty well. Like I said, I was running with these two friends of ours, Chris Hogger and Fausto. And Fausto was going for he and I have the same goal at the New York City Marathon, roughly, although I think he's in better shape than me. And he was going to go out 7:25 pace, which I thought was pretty good. I was like, I can do that. Mm-hmm. But they went out like at 6:45 because Chris
Hogger was pacing.
Hogger's the worst pacer in the world.
Shocking.
So that was a weird thing, because I saw we were going to Lake Montebello, and it had it's the only really out and back.
Yeah.
So Jarrett and I see Fausto and Chris.
Yeah.
And we're like, where's Robbie? And I'm like, maybe Robbie already went by. Maybe we missed him. Or Robbie's having a bad day.
Right.
And so it was quite a bit. It was maybe a 0.2 of a mile. And then we see Robbie, and we were like, I was like, oh, he must be having a bad day. I didn't realize, no, those dudes.
Fausto was having a really good day for sure. And then I was kind of I found a pace after I slowed it down because they went out really hot. And so now I just was like, well, I'm just going to run my race, and slowed it down, and then found kind of my rhythm going uphill to, there's basically, how long is that uphill?
It's
5 miles
ridiculous,
long.
yeah.
It's literally, I think it is at least 4 miles uphill.
It starts at the bottom of Patterson Park. You run all the way up to Hopkins, all the way up to Lake Montebello, or all the way through Clifton Park.
Yeah, to Lake Montebello. I'm pretty sure it's 4 miles.
And then you get out of Lake Montebello and you run back up another hill.
Yeah, it's a half pipe. It's the worst.
But then how nice
ever.
is the last couple miles down?
I love the last couple miles.
Yeah,
definitely.
Once you're off 33rd Street, and you're cruising, and you know that okay, I couldn't believe you have 2.5 miles, and I was like, is it really 2.5 miles to the city from here?
Yeah.
Didn't it seem like it would be shorter? But
I don't know.
But here's what I thought was kind of cool is, even though you fell apart from Fausto and Chris, you kept your pace and kind of stayed on your plan, and you did really well.
Yeah, I felt like it was great. I felt comfortable the whole time. Wasn't tired at any point. And then just picked it up towards the end and ran around 7 minutes or under 6:45 for my last mile. So felt really good. No, I was I can hold this pace for a marathon. I felt like
6:45.
No, the 7:30.
Okay.
Which is kind of what I'm going for.
Yeah, I mean, you want to if you want to sub 320.
Around, well, for sure under 325. So that would be.
So that gives you plenty of room, because a 739 is 320.
Is that what it is? That
yeah, because that's my PR.
739 is a 320.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So you got plenty of room.
Okay. Yeah. So I think I could do that.
And then when I ran a 324, that was a 749.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't know. We'll see. So around Lake Montebello, which is about the halfway point, maybe 5 miles to go, there was a guy who was right behind me, kind of following my pace, and I turned around and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to keep up with you," and I was like, "Well, let's just run together." So we finished the race
Robbie
together.
making friends like normal.
I love doing that. Out on the course, and then you find someone, you run together.
Did you guys finish together?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
He actually felt really strong.
So that's 5-6 miles together.
Yeah, he was starting to hurt towards the end, but then he really picked it up in the last mile and actually finished a couple seconds ahead of me.
I was thinking about after I finished that race, I was like, I never want to run this half again. And I was like, actually, I was thinking about today when I was running. I was like, it's actually kind of fun because you do
Yeah.
you run the uphills,
I love
but that downhill is worth it.
Yeah, I like hills like that last 5 miles, even 33rd Street. I love those types of hills, like in a race. It just feels, I don't know. It just feels like you can get some momentum or something. I don't know.
Or at least, well, I think
Interesting.
the thing is that you can also, if someone's not up to hills, it's an area where you're going to be passing people.
I do love that. That's one of my favorite parts.
So there you go.
Passing people up hills.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, it is weird when you meet someone during a race and run with them, and then you talk with them for an hour sometimes, and then you literally never see them again. Like you're just like
you don't become friends on Strava and then talk.
I
guess
don't.
not. Yeah, I mean that's
You
happened.
do?
Yeah, like I'm thinking about like past like pacers from marathons that like I talked to afterwards, like followed on Strava.
See, even like Laura from A6 that I ran Falmouth with, the next time I talked to her was when I saw her in Chicago when we were chasing you around.
But even when I did the 150 miler I ran with a guy for probably 4 or 5 hours, like half the race.
You learned all about his life. He learned about
Yeah,
yours. Yeah,
and I never heard from him again. Isn't
that
that?
seems really sad.
Yeah, it's such a weird.
I think that's perfect.
It's such a weird like such a like that would never happen, and I guess it happens at parties and stuff sometimes.
Yeah,
but not to the extent of. I feel like running's much more personal.
Yeah, and I feel like you like we've talked about it before, but like the psychology of not facing each other and running and exerting yourself, you just tend to share more.
I actually never thought about that. I don't remember you bringing that up.
Oh, maybe we've talked about it.
We talk about it all the time
somewhere else,
Okay.
but yeah, it's like there's like a psychology behind it where you actually share more.
And I feel like it is kind of the same as when you're drinking. You start talking more.
Yeah.
Your I don't know serotonin levels or whatever.
And I think that if the other person opens up, you open up. It's kind of like a back and forth. But yeah, no, I think it's actually wonderful that it's kind of like in the moment. You don't need to exchange numbers and addresses. It's like, let's help each other through this race. And that was great.
Yeah.
We don't need to be lifelong buddies. Megan, on the other hand, is taking a...
Now, Megan, when you were running Chicago, would you be able to talk to someone? Like during the race?
Not at that effort.
Okay.
Yeah. But like most marathons for the first 15, absolutely.
What do you mean most marathons for the first 15?
Like I was overexerting myself in Chicago for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it was also weird because I think you thought there was going to be this large group.
Yeah, I did.
And you didn't get that.
Oh, I thought I remembered you saying before that you shouldn't be able to talk to someone during a race, but...
I think in a marathon you can.
No, the marathon for the first half, I feel like you should be able to have like a full-on conversation.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like I would burn out very quickly if
Well,
that were the case.
yeah.
Honestly, one of the reasons I love running with Jarrett is like we don't talk that much.
Yeah.
Like I think it's nice. It's almost like a security blanket where we're running together, and if there's an issue, we'll say something. Other than that, we're just kind of like
holding hands.
Yeah, we just kind of like quietly check in every once in a while. But it's just like knowing you have a buddy with you.
Yeah. But you don't like to talk during runs, right?
It's not that I don't like to talk. I just like I don't have a lot to say.
Thomas and I are like virtually opposites where I'm an introvert in most cases except for when I'm running.
Yeah.
And he's
so
an extrovert in most cases except for when you're running.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so weird. I definitely love every race I hope that somebody
Dude, Robbie, you
talking with someone.
Yeah.
You hope every time you get on a plane.
That's actually
anytime
true.
you step
That's
out
fair.
on the sidewalk.
Any scenario.
That's fair. That's fair.
Sometimes I'm like, what the hell is Robbie talking about?
I don't know. It's just interesting.
Ended up talking to a lady on a plane about some crazy shit. All right, second check-in. Equipment. You got to know when you're running what to wear. we were talking a little bit about shoes and traction on some of the shoes that we raced in this weekend. But another thing you got to think about if you want to avoid chafing is actually when it's raining, it's better to wear your tight stuff. So if you have half tights, if you're a guy, women, regular tights, women get a benefit with a sports bra, but guys, if you're out there in the wet, you may want to wear a tighter shirt, something that's a little more hugging the body so it doesn't move around and chafe you. Something to think about.
I like to play a game where if I meet someone, I like to see if I can find a commonality with pretty much anyone, which I usually can.
Well, yeah.
Because I have a very wide variety of interests.
Yeah, like growing gourds.
Yeah.
Horticulture.
Thank you for buying my gourds, by the way.
Yeah.
Or paying my children for their
How much did a gourd cost?
janky yard sale.
We ended up negotiating for about $5 worth of goods.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I was just selling the gourds for $1, which is a pretty good deal if you ask me. And
The free gourds.
yeah.
Rat gourds.
They don't know they were rat gourds. And we sold them all and you bought some habaneros off me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some
Did you
habaneros.
try them yet?
Not yet.
Oh, dude.
They're good.
Are they good?
They are. They're super hot, though.
Oh,
Yeah. We'll throw it on the pizza this week.
yeah.
Get some
I
bathroom.
tried to. You can make peppers hotter by, if you don't water them, if you go bigger gaps between watering and not watering them.
That's what gets them hot?
Yeah, it's almost like they get angry at you for not
That's
for
wild.
not watering them. Yeah, it's
Huh.
So
So it's just like real children. They start to get,
it's it's weird. Which is, I can't wait till we find out that plants have feelings
Oh,
because it's
geez.
gonna be
They do.
It's gonna be awkward for everyone.
They definitely have feelings.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those stop motion where they shows the plants
Yeah.
like move around? They just move slower than us, so
Dude,
we don't think
vegans are gonna. I love how vegans are in denial that plants aren't sentient beings.
Yeah,
And someday they're gonna find out. It's gonna be a hard.
it's going to be
cold-
worse. We're going to find out plants actually suffer
yeah,
more.
like way worse. They're like way.
It's like
more.
because you leave them living. It's like a cow. You kill it and you take its meat. The plant, you just like cutting off a piece.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Imagine just
Yeah,
losing a finger one at a time.
Just you're sitting in a room. Someone yanks your ear off,
Oh, dude.
leaves you living, waters you, and keeps you alive.
Okay. Don't do this.
man.
Don't do this.
And their intelligence could be like on a different plane, which makes them just smarter than all of us.
Yeah, except for they just can't walk away.
Wait till they grow legs. It's gonna be.
AI is going to hook them up.
Isn't there a horror movie about plants that come alive?
I mean, probably. There's a horror movie about a sloth that kills people.
There's a kid's book I remember called "The Celery Stalks at Midnight."
I like that. Someone came up with something creative.
Yeah, that was the author of Bunnicula. That was a bunny that had Dracula fangs.
Ah, I like that.
Pretty clever. Did you read this?
No, are these scary children's books?
Yeah.
It sounds like it.
Well, what's
I'm
funny?
Not into that.
So I asked my kid last week. I think I saw some on Instagram, and I was like, "Have you ever heard of the story about the girl with the green ribbon?" He's like, "Oh yeah, we just read that in school." I was like, "No way."
You remember that?
No.
I was like, "Your teacher's getting into some hardcore like
What's
scary
that?
stories. I love it."
That one freaked me out.
So I did actually look it up. I think it's like an old tale, but that has been passed down over time. There's different
Oh, I know it well if you want it.
different variations of it. And there's this one kid's book that it's featured in that I remembered reading as a kid. And it's this girl has a green ribbon around her neck.
Wears it every day.
A red ribbon in some cases. Yeah, wears it every day. Falls in love. Her lover, husband asks her.
Wait, she was an adult? I thought it was always a kid.
Well, she grows up then.
Okay.
It follows her life story.
Okay.
And then is always asking her if she can take off the green ribbon. And she says, "I'm waiting for the perfect time to show you." This keeps happening for years and years. She's on her deathbed. She's sick and dying. And he's asking her again. And she says, "Okay, now's the time." And she takes off the ribbon. Her head falls off.
I don't remember getting to the deathbed. I just remember it happening like,
Yeah. I think
Midnight.
there's different versions
Why
of
was
it.
her head being held on by a ribbon?
Yeah, she just I
I
guess
actually
when she
think
was
it's-
younger, her head got cut off or something.
it's a parable for virginity.
Well, I read that it's you
On her
think so?
deathbed?
The way that
She's holding out that long.
Well, see,
she
that's
dies.
why my story that I heard was different.
Okay.
She has the ribbon. She falls in love with the boy.
Yeah.
And they're like teenagers. And he's like, all he wants, please just take off the ribbon.
Yeah.
She goes, I can't.
Okay.
And then she finally does, and her head falls off, and she dies.
When they get married?
No.
Oh, just in
it's
general?
a virginity parable.
Oh. Well, but here's the other. So I was wondering what the
like, don't do it or you'll die.
That might be one of the versions, or one of the other explanation is that the tale started during the French Revolution when everyone's getting their heads chopped off. And so it was almost a way to like conceal that you were almost like a spy thing.
A traitor.
Yeah, like a traitor. So her whole life, it's basically like be careful of who you trust or who you're married to. They could be a traitor.
What are these dark children's stories?
I don't know. But then, do you remember the Scary Stories You Tell in the Dark, that book?
Yeah, I think I do.
It's like it's pretty horrifying, and I remember reading that in second grade.
This is good content for Halloween, by the way.
Yeah.
So if you're running and enjoying some good Halloween content.
Like, do you remember... anyways, those stories are super spooky, and I was wondering if he had read those in school, but I guess not. Do you remember those stories?
Oh, wait, that skull on the right? What is that? That's very familiar.
Like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like real spooky stuff. This guy like hanging from like stuck on a pole.
Dude, you know what's never spooked me out more though than anything? I was watching this show in West Virginia. There's like a family that all lived together, and they incested.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, was it on YouTube?
I think so, or on Netflix.
I know what you're talking about.
Nothing really bad happened, but it scared me because I'm like, this could happen, and people live this way.
There was the one guy who's nonverbal.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Megan's the scariest thing you ever seen.
I won't watch it.
Imagine,
No.
a household where nobody leaves and they just reproduce with each other.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was pretty sad because there was just so many like medical anomalies type thing.
Do you know why I don't watch scary movies?
Why?
Because I like to sleep.
Yeah, but this wasn't a scary movie. This was a documentary.
You did not play into my segment.
It's actually a real well done.
Oh. Are you talking about Lagoon pillows?
There it is. There it is.
Nice. That was good.
I tried.
All right, hit it up, Meg. Why do you like sleeping on Lagoon pillows?
Because they're the best pillows ever.
You say we use Lagoon pillows every night.
Yeah, we do.
Literally, I would use a trash pillow every night if I didn't have the Lagoon. So I feel fortunate that we have the Lagoon pillows. I also feel good that I took a test to figure out which one would work best for me because my head is hot at night, and I need a cooling pillow, and I like it a little firmer, less, squishy. Mm-hmm. So I took that little exam there, and I got the right pillow for me.
Yeah, it's a really easy quiz. We've talked about it before. You answer some questions, sleeping hot, if you have aches and pains, if you sleep on your side, all that good stuff. And then it gives you the perfect pillow, which you should order because, we're loving them.
Like, honestly, how often do you buy pillows, Robbie? When was the last time you purchased a pillow before your
I'm
Lagoon?
probably a bad person to ask about that.
No, I think you're probably average.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
You bought one when you bought the bed or moved, and then
it's like 20 years ago.
It hangs out
Probably
with
like
you.
a decade ago.
Like, would you be embarrassed? Like, I think one of the things that would embarrass most people is show me your naked pillow without a pillowcase on it, and show me your naked mattress without sheets on it.
It looks like a topographical map of drool.
Yeah, it's like
I can imagine that.
Nobody wants to see that. So you need to replace these pillows because otherwise you have like crap on it. The nice thing about the Lagoon pillow is you can wash it, so you don't have to go through that shame.
Oh yeah, that's actually I never thought about that angle.
So that's the perfect angle. Like, especially if you're single and you're starting to date.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it's sooner or later they're going to see inside your pillow.
Yeah.
You don't want them to be regretting their choices.
Imagine that's your test for dating someone. You're just peeping inside their pillow.
Well, that would be.
Do you have a Lagoon pillow?
Yeah.
That's your first question.
It should be.
Well, I might be like, you seem really nice. You bathe every day. You brush your teeth. That's great.
Yeah.
Let me see your pillow.
Yeah.
And if I saw their eyes get like all terrified, I'd be like, I know what's up.
I'm glad we didn't get
You've had
connected.
that pillow since college.
Yeah. I'm glad we weren't matched. We wouldn't have never gotten together.
You and Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you would have been eating stuff off the ground. That would have been
a hard pass.
Man. Yeah, my wife's probably listening to this and thinking, man, I should have done that.
Yeah.
Things would have been so much different.
Just check the pillow.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, if
You
you
can
want to
wash
go, if you want to go get a Lagoon pillow, which you should, you can go to lagoonsleep.com/believe. There's a link right on there to take the quiz, and then there's also some promotions going on, like you can save $50 on a performance pack, and that includes a pillow, a pillowcase, and a travel compression bag and a hat.
Do you know what else I like about the pillows?
What?
They have a zipper so you can stuff more stuff in there
Yeah,
if
you
you
can
want
kind
to.
of make it your own.
Like if it starts getting beaten down,
Yeah.
push some more in.
Put some drugs
You can
in there.
wash the outside. You get the right fit. Like this is high level pillowing.
Yeah, it's a little too fancy for me, but
Yeah,
I'll
that's
You
still-
love
resume.
yours. You love yours.
Yeah, I do. All right, so what's can we talk about that Mccartie marathon?
Some crazy fast people ran this weekend in a loop, a 2.9 mile loop.
Oh, it's only 2.9 miles.
Correct.
How did people get invited to this marathon, by the way?
So I think you were invited or you applied, and you had to have a certain time, I believe. So you had to be pretty fast, maybe within like five minutes or so of the OTQ time.
Can you describe what this race is? Just give an overview of it.
It was set up by Mccartie Trained, which is like a coaching group. They basically set up this event for the specific reason of getting people the Olympic trials qualifier. And so they found this 2.9 mile loop, totally flat. They had it USATF approved so that it was legit. And it happened this past Saturday, I think.
Yeah,
October
Saturday or Sunday.
14th or 15th.
Yeah.
Because it was so small, they could kind of start it when they wanted to. And so they started it earlier than a typical race. I think it went off at like 6:30. And they had pacers and I think like
Water tables.
150 people. So yeah, one of the perks obviously is that if you're not a pro, you could get your own bottles set up at the tables.
Mm-hmm.
So it was basically like a pro's situation for the
It reminds me of like the
non-pro athlete.
COVID races.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it felt like. And yeah, I watched some of it. I know Matt Chittum was covering it on Instagram, so I was following that a bit. And 33 new people hit the standard, which is
Women or men or all together?
That's all together. It was 10 women,
Okay.
I think. 20.
Did you see the reel where they were all trying to make it in, like under the like you had to make it in under the OTQ, time limit, and it was the last minute of everyone coming in.
Oh,
was
wow.
it the guys?
Yeah.
No, I didn't
It
see
was
that.
pretty awesome.
Was it cool?
Yeah, and luckily no one. I think the person who missed the cutoff first was probably 20 seconds behind, so it wasn't anyone who was super close,
Yeah,
which would have been
like
tragic.
seconds,
Yeah.
But it
like,
was awesome.
What's his name? Who's the guy who always came in
Bromke.
Bromke coming in like
1 second over.
Yeah.
But it was awesome seeing them get in within 10 seconds of
Yeah.
the OTQ.
Yeah, the women's field I think was a lot more spread out, and there was no like
Okay.
situation like that at the end. It was either like they made it by like over 30 seconds or they were over by
Okay.
minutes.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like to have that event and just put it on is really cool.
Yeah.
And McCurdy, that's like a coaching
Service. Yeah.
Like there's multiple coaches
Yeah.
under the program.
Yes.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, there was someone, I forget his name now, but when I was out at BOA in Denver at their headquarters, one of the guys who works for them was running in the race yesterday. And I was trying to see this weekend, I was trying to see if he made it or not.
So McKenna Myler, the ASICS athlete who we hung out with in Boulder.
And we interviewed.
Yeah. She had signed up for Twin Cities Marathon, that one that got canceled.
Oh, yeah.
And so she jumped into this one
Okay.
and got her
Oh,
OTQ by
awesome.
a ton. She ran a 2:31.
Wow.
Dude, she's
But-
fun. I hope
Yeah.
she does well.
Yeah, she's super cool.
And then the woman who won the event, it was her debut marathon, and she ran a 2:22, which makes her, and I think
Whoa.
she's British, which made her like the second fastest British woman this year or something.
Wow.
Huh.
That's amazing.
Crazy.
That
Yeah.
is crazy. That's cool. So is there anything, I guess there's CIM is left. Is that still?
CIM is the
table?
last weekend for the OTQ.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's Indianapolis.
I mean, you could do it at New York. I mean,
Yeah,
chances
so
are you won't.
Indy,
right.
New York,
But I was gonna say courses that are advantageous.
and CIM is probably, I guess. Indy
I have a
and
feeling you're
CIM.
going to see a lot of people at CIM
yeah.
going for it.
You always
It's the
do.
yeah, but it's the last shot, and it's a friendly course.
What weekend is that? December.
It's right after the running event.
First weekend in December.
Okay.
I think December 3rd is the Sunday.
I had an entry to CIM
December
that I never
4th.
used.
Really?
Yeah, I think I probably could still use it this year, but I didn't. So I think this is the last year.
Yeah.
But we were going to do it. I think it was,
The COVID year.
The
We had
COVID
signed up
year.
in 2020.
That's
And then
right.
it was like that deferral.
Right.
and it just is always behind the running event. I know Kofuzi can do that, like just do the running event and then go run CIM, but I don't want to do
That's
that.
right. It's basically the day after, 2 days after the running event ends.
Yeah.
Brooks. Oh, by the way, y'all out boy confirmed playing the Brooks after party this year again.
Yes.
Yeah. We're
That's
in.
awesome.
So solid.
Yeah.
I've already seen them once this year. So it's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like just living the dream over here.
Yeah. You know what we should probably mention is our shakeout run in New York. Even though the details aren't completely finished,
True.
we're going to have some heavy hitters there, including our entire Believe in the Run Train to NYC group, which includes some of the people you know, like Jess Movold and Featherston and Allison Staples. And I go on Liv and all the rest of the crew, Lo, Jared, of course. But we're also, Matt Choi is going to be there, Kofuzi. I'm going to guess Ben Johnson, even though he can't say he is.
We
He'll
keep
be
saying
there.
that, so if we speak it into existence,
Yeah.
he'll have to come.
Runner Beans sounds like she'll be there from England. We're going to have 40 runs from England there. We also,
The British are coming.
I know, Carleth Keys, if you're familiar with her, she's coming to the shakeout. It's going to be nuts. Tommie Runz. We're going to have a big party, and it's the day before the marathon. So even if you aren't signed up for the marathon, and
Yeah.
this is what you
Well,
want to
one
do.
of my friends was saying, should I come up to spectate the New York City Marathon? I said, just come up for the shakeout
Shakeout,
runs. That's
yeah.
actually the cooler thing. No
Yeah.
offense. But, I mean, yeah, spectate if you're up there. But I feel like just going to all the events a couple days before is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So
So
ours will be Saturday morning, right?
Yeah, we have our team has something on Friday, so our team should be ready to start the weekend.
Festivities.
Yeah, on Friday night, and then we'll have Saturday morning. We'll have the shakeout run 10 a.m. We'll give you the rest of the details, but I think that's the 4th.
I'm hoping we'll have the details nailed out by the time this podcast comes out. So
Okay.
we'll put them in the description if we do.
Yeah, November 4th. And then we're actually going to be going to a breakfast at Columbus Circle on the day after the race.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Don't
I
know
didn't-
if you knew that.
free,
I did not know
free
that.
waffles and mimosas.
Wait, what do you mean in Columbus Circle?
You know, like where we did last time?
Yeah.
The big mall that's like
Oh,
open. They
yeah.
have that set up.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll be
yeah.
doing something in there.
Really?
Yeah, breakfast.
Wow.
And then we hop on the train.
Wow. Trained out
Success.
of New York?
Robbie's going to be on a high because he just ran a 3:18.
Ooh,
Whoa,
you're
coming in
calling it?
hot.
I'm calling it.
Hold on, let me put that into a calculator and see
Okay.
if I can confirm that it's in the realm of possibility.
It's definitely. I wouldn't be surprised. I was buffering. I was going to say 3:15, but I think 3:18 would be
Thank
good
you
for
for not saying that.
Yeah, 3:18 for Robbie is my guess.
Let's see. A 3:18 would be roughly. Oh, that's actually not as bad as I thought.
What is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, like a 7:35.
Yeah.
Huh.
Could be doable. Wait, Meg, what are you running? What are you guys running?
TBD.
You.
There's some part of her group that would like to go sub 3.
Oh, really?
I'm not part of that group.
Megan Featherston.
Feathers
we're
has
not
run
announcing
every
time. We're
major.
doing that thing?
No, Feathers has run every
I
major
don't-
sub 3.
I don't know what our plan is yet, but
Okay.
we're not in the same wave.
Who?
You.
Oh, that's right. You're a sub elite or whatever. I don't even know why.
Somehow I ended up with a sub elite bib, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's not that hilarious. You just ran a 2:45.
You are a sub elite though.
I mean, I'll take it, I guess.
Like when you OTQ, you'll be elite.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go line up in the sub elite corral and go run
Ooh.
a 3:30 or something.
I'm in the schlub elite wave.
yeah.
If that's
I'll
such a
be
thing.
running with Jarrett And he keeps thinking, like, he was like during the half, he's like, I don't think I can hold this for 26.2. He is the biggest, like, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this.
Yeah, he's like Eeyore in real person form.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Like, meanwhile, like, I thought maybe he did fall off at the end of the half, and then he comes charging back and he crushes. So just shut up and run.
Yeah. And so the only thing is, I always make the mistake of going, when you look at a pace chart and thinking, oh, that sounds reasonable, and forgetting there's a half a mile of extra mileage. So we have to remember that.
What do you mean?
Because it's tangents.
Tack on the...
I hear you. Yeah.
So that's...
Well, that was like, Meg told me for the NCR marathon, she's like to run 3:25.
He never lets me live this
No,
down.
it's not your fault. It's my fault. I was raised. She's like, just run a 7:48 pace. So I made sure my pace was 7:48 the whole way through.
Yeah.
And then I came over the line 3:25:15.
Uh-huh.
That year, everybody got in who BQ'd, and my time goal is
snap.
3:25.
Yeah.
So I missed the BQ by 15 seconds.
Right.
And I can't tell you what's worse, the time that I actually BQ'd and didn't get in because I didn't have enough of a buffer, or knowing that they let everybody in
That's
who
the
hit
worst.
the BQ and was 15 seconds
That's
over.
the worst one, especially because 15 seconds is not even a second.
That's a
per
water
mile.
stop. That's a,
I don't even, yeah.
yeah, it's
There's
a
so
fart and
many
a wind.
things. 15, were you going all out at the end too?
At the end I was, yeah.
Yeah.
Like when Meg saw me and they were screaming for me, and I was like, this is as fast as I can go.
No, he was like smiling, and I was like screaming. I was like, you have to go. And he was like, this is great.
I'm like, I got it.
You're like, my watch says we're good. Yeah, so I guess we'll see.
Dude, 3:18's a BQ, right? For you?
No, 3:10.
Oh, you got to run a 3:10?
Yeah.
Jeez, you got to get older faster.
I
Wait,
know,
do you have
seriously.
to run a 3:10
Like
or
2 more years.
a 3:10?
Dude, they're
going to
knock that.
No, 3:10 to qualify.
So you really have to
3:05
run like a 3-hour marathon.
3:05 to get, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
3:04.
That sucks. And they're probably going to lower the time.
They're definitely going to.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't think that
The last time they lowered it, there was a 6-minute buffer, and now there's a 7-minute buffer. People are getting faster.
dude, people okay, everyone listening to this, stop running.
Well, that's the thing. You
Just
have all
stop.
these people that started running during the pandemic that
Yeah.
I always think that. I'm like, we think our times are this or that. There's so many people that aren't running that could potentially, like, I always hate it when somebody comes out and they're like, oh, it's not that hard to run 7 flats.
Well, the dude I ran with during the half marathon, that was his second half marathon ever. And he ran 1:37 in a Hoka Cliftons.
Yeah. And he didn't look like a tiny dude.
No, he was.
Oh, he was?
Yeah. He was like the same, really like the same size.
Okay. Next to you, he looked big. Like, I thought he looked chunky.
Wait, which, I don't know if you saw
Bearded guy.
that. Oh, you did see, yeah. No, we were about the same size.
Okay.
But I was like, man, 1:37 for your second half is
That's solid.
very good.
Yeah.
And especially on that course.
Yeah. And he said he trained flat, like he didn't train any hills.
Yeah, I hate those
I
people.
was like, what the hell, dude? Anyways.
All right. One of my favorite tips this is the final third tip. Get yourself to Amazon and get yourself toss away gloves. This is a perfect time to get them this year. You get some of those knit gloves. They're probably like, I don't know, they cost you $2 a piece or something like that. You can get a bag of them, and they're great for taking you to the race. If it gets hot, you can throw them away, and you're not like worried that you lost a good pair of gloves. They're also great for those in-between temperatures where you like, I don't know, I could wear a t-shirt, throw on a glove. I used them this past week in the half marathon where it was raining, it was cold, and it was damp, but it was like 50 degrees. So the gloves were a nice like security blanket. I started the race with them, but since they're toss away gloves, got like halfway through the half marathon and just took them off. Felt great. I tried to actually save them, and one fell out of my pocket, so I just threw the other one away. And but it's such a nice little treat for yourself to grab a bag of those and just have them on hand. And believe it or not, they work pretty well. For most temperatures, you can get away with them. So check it out. Get yourself some disposable gloves, and we'll talk to you next week.
Oh, real quick. I wanted to tell this last week, but it got tied up in I didn't want to deviate from the Chicago Marathon talk. But you know how there's I don't know. There's a bunch of cults hanging out around the Inner Harbor. You know all the religious sects that are handing out things.
Oh, I have seen them
There's
recently.
multiple. So do you know the ones like by the World Trade Center with they're always passing a football around?
No.
You haven't seen them?
I'm
They wear
oblivious.
blue. They wear like blue polo shirts.
The people that I see most of the time are right by the big ship.
Not that. Nah,
Okay.
not that group. So there's another one that if you're coming like where the dragon boats are.
Yeah.
They're always out there every day. So I've been running after work and I'll run past there and they for some reason always have a football and I was like, dude, I can catch a shoe. Like shoes are harder to catch than footballs, right? And obviously I've caught footballs in my life.
You've catched footballs.
Caught many footballs. So I'm running, but I'm already a couple miles in. So you know how your brain's a little weird. That's what I'm gonna blame it on. And I'm like, I was like, hit me. And so he passes it, and it was a perfect pass. And I go to catch it. I'm like,
It went in the water?
This is gonna look so good. And it literally goes right between my hands and like bounces straight on didn't even touch my hands.
What happened?
And just bounced up and it almost did go in the water. And I was just stunned in my inability to catch a football. Completely missed it.
Were your hands just not ready?
I just
for
don't
it?
even know. It was completely embarrassing. And I'm like, no, I usually we have to do another one. We have to do this. And I made him throw me another
Tell me
one.
you missed it again.
I caught that one.
Okay.
But it was so embarrassing.
It's like our reputation's on the line.
And so yeah, I don't know if they're part of I don't know what cult they are, but I don't know if they're like the instead of the Baltimore Colts.
Did they try and
It's
they
like
didn't try and get you in on anything after you caught the football?
No, but they got those big old smiles on where you just know they're into something that's culty.
Remember Robbie got, when he was in Boulder,
Yeah.
he got the smoothie or something, the Aussie bowl
Yeah,
or
I
something.
must be attracted to cults.
Yeah.
But I was like, instead of the Baltimore Colts, it's the Baltimore cult.
I get it.
Nice.
I actually came up with that, and I was like, I have to say that
All right, I like
in person.
I like it.
Sorry, it's like not a good joke when it's already in my head, but
I do like the Colt band, Wildflower, and, and She Sells Sanctuary, and
but you know when people are so happy that you're like,
something's wrong.
but at the same time, I want to ask them what their worldview is, what they're onto, because it's pretty interesting that people can just be like, I don't know. In a way, it's good because I'm like, well, you seem to be enjoying life.
Well, they've got a mission,
Yeah,
so they've got purpose,
yeah,
which I think for most people is one of the biggest problems. If you don't have purpose or something to fill your days with, you go nuts. So they've got a purpose.
yeah,
It becomes a passion.
yeah,
They're supported by other people, so they have a community around them.
yeah.
So it's actually a lot like running. And
I mean, it's true.
If you ran
true.
past the Faster Bastards on a Saturday, you'd be like, why are these? And I know our pictures look like we're sour fucks, but we usually are
Yeah,
pretty jovial people. And if you ran by us and you'd be like, I want what those people have.
that's true.
And it's because we have a little group.
Yeah,
We're all on the same mission. We feel the same way. I think, I mean, come to a grit party.
yeah.
Speaking of grit, we'll be launching Winter Grit soon,
Oh,
but come to a grit party. Like, that's the happiest place on
true.
earth.
And I get it. Like I grew up in a religious household that like
Your dad was evangelical, right?
even more than that. And so
What is it more than that? Like, what is there a name for it?
yeah, it's Pentecostal, which is like
Oh,
kind
so
of
wait,
the
evangelical is an actual like
denomination.
I thought that was a description of someone.
Yeah, I mean in a way it's like a certain set of beliefs.
Okay.
And then but the way I grew up, it was it was similar. It wasn't a cult, but it was like there were similar like things that it would be strange, I think, to outsiders. But we don't have to get into that. But anyway, so I do understand in some ways like what they're doing or what they're about, but it is interesting because they're out there every day.
How do they
every
make
day,
money?
all day? I don't know. That's a good question.
They're probably supported by the church.
Yeah, the ones by the ship,
Yeah.
like It's just standing by that stand all day.
So
Right.
apparently, so we noticed in Chicago there was these big trucks with stuff about Jesus, and apparently there's a pact or a group that is paying for advertising. They're shifting everything they're doing to go to these events because the traditional ways of marketing religion are kind of like fading.
I mean, that's interesting. Yeah, method.
Yeah, so there was trucks along the Chicago Marathon with like giant billboards on them.
Isn't that? Don't they have commercials during the Super Bowl and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same.
I don't know who's actually what group is doing those or whatever. But yeah, I mean,
yeah. But I mean, if you think about running, like we go out there every day.
Mm-hmm.
If you were like, these people are nuts, I see them out there every day,
Yeah.
running around. They seem happy.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with them. They're traveling all over the place. I saw them in Chicago, New York, Tokyo.
Yeah. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's just people want community and kind of a place to belong and everything. And
For sure.
religion isn't as popular as it was. So I think people are looking for that type of, environment,
Yeah.
however you can get it.
I mean, I've always thought that, you figure when churches started, people were illiterate.
Mm-hmm.
So they would go there. It was almost like going to the movies. You get told these fantastic stories.
It's actually a pretty good
It's
point.
entertainment. And you
Yeah.
couldn't read or something, and they'd go there. And church was usually the coolest place in town. Look at the Sistine Chapel. Imagine walking in there. You'd be like, this place is amazing.
Yeah. And it was really the only book at the time for a lot of people.
Right. And
Yeah.
so they didn't keep up with the times. They needed to come up with like a sequel
Yeah.
or something. So the
Sequel.
Christians did that. The Jews didn't.
The
But
New
they-
Testament. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Come
like
on.
they needed a new area. But like,
That's interesting.
think about competing with movies,
yeah.
TV, music. The
Yeah.
entertainment exploded. So you're like, I don't need to go there to get that anymore.
Yeah.
I can get that, and people became more literate and could
And social media came and destroyed everything in the world.
and then AI will clean it all up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Anyways, so that was an interesting tangent.
Yeah.
But if you
Solid
see
stuff.
if you see the football call, ask him to pass you the rock.
And then catch it on like Robbe.
We should start calling it the Robbie.
Yeah.
Pass the Robbie.
I ran past him yesterday again, and I was gonna.
And were they like, no?
Well, no, they it was off the football was off to the side in the grass, but maybe tomorrow or today if I run after work.
Dude, you should have picked it up like it was a fumble and started running with it.
Oh yeah. Well, the one guy, he started running alongside me. He's like, "Come on, I'll race you," and then starts like taking off. I'm like, "I'm not." First off, my legs feel like garbage from
Plus,
Saturday.
he had Jesus on his side.
Yeah, and he ran up that little hill, and I was like, "Dude, I thought you were gonna." He's like, "How far are you going? How much more you got?" I said 5 miles, and he stopped. And I said, "I thought you were gonna run the rest of the 5 miles with me," and he did. So I guess I won.
You should have said, I'll join your church if you run.
Oh yeah.
Run the
Maybe
entire
I'll do
run
that
with
today.
me.
See if he does.
If
it.
you can keep up with me.
Dude,
Yeah.
if he makes it back to your house, then what do you do?
They live together.
Yeah. I think I just adopt him.
Why do you think they're smiling all the time?
Take him in.
Robbie got a puppy.
Yeah.
Bring him to work
They
the
had
next day?
they had puppies at the packet pickup meg.
Oh yeah.
And they
was
weren't the kind of
dangerous.
puppies I'd want, but they were so cute.
Yeah.
like,
were-
like golden retrievers?
No, they
all-
were little
all pits.
pit bulls.
Oh.
Yeah.
But they were
I
beautiful.
mean, it's a puppy.
Yeah,
It was-
all
cute.
puppies
There was
are
a
cute.
all snow white pit bull that was just like, he looked so cute, and he was like tails wagging.
Yeah.
He's got that little nub. It's going back and forth.
Yep.
But yeah,
But yeah, it's dangerous walking into an expo and having puppies everywhere.
you could walk.
I bet
out
they
with a
got
puppy.
adopted.
Oh, they probably got a
Yeah.
couple
Oh,
of
that's
those.
good.
Think about that. It's your first marathon. And you get a dog, and you name him like Miles. You take him home, and
Miles.
yeah,
That's good.
Standard.
you know who named their kid Miles?
They had some great. Who? Who?
Taylor and Dave.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah. I didn't think that's why. But at the running expo, they had, what was it, Roadrunner Sports had lately
Yeah.
used shoes for sale. Like,
Ridiculous.
huge selection.
It'd be like our wall in our house.
You know how when people return shoes
Yeah.
at the store under the warranty, and they were $70 each, 2 for $130. And they had some bangers there, like Hokamak X, like
That's awesome.
Like they look barely worn.
Nimbus 25, and probably worn for 5 miles.
Right.
I'm like, man, people are gonna score on this one. But I mean, I almost thought about buying a pair just because it's like,
Robbie was
You
actually
cannot.
it was a deal.
Robbie was trying to get some for his sister.
Yeah, because she wanted a pair of Hokas,
Oh.
and I think they only had like one pair in her size. But anyways,
Right down.
is there anything else we need to talk about?
I think that's it. I think
Yeah.
we're wrapping.
Are there
People
any-
are probably like, come on, I got to finish my run.
Oh, well, actually, can I bring up I think we had a poll last week that I put on Spotify.
yeah.
I'm trying to put more polls and questions up if I remember it. The problem is if somebody answers the question, which is the standard, what did you think about this episode? I can't change it.
Oh.
So if I don't remember to. But I asked last week what pizza chain is the best pizza?
Oh, that's a good one.
And so I put Pizza Hut, Domino's, Jets, only because I love Jets. Cause
I never heard of that.
it's like a Midwestern chain, so it's not as big.
Never had it.
Papa John's. By the way, Jets is the best. And Little Caesars.
These are all disgusting.
Yeah.
But those are chains.
Yeah.
Right.
So who won?
What do you want me to put? Uno?
No, I was a Shakey's guy in California.
Okay. Is that still a place?
I don't know.
I would have put it on there.
Maybe.
So who do you think won? If you had to guess of which of those chains? And
Papa John's?
nope. And it was an overwhelming
Domino's?
amount.
Yeah, Domino's.
Yeah.
Really?
Remember how Domino's used to be awful? And then like
Is it better now?
well, like 7 years ago, I think they definitely changed up the crust. I think they got some of the quality control issues under wraps. And
Dude,
then-
I'm going to tell you, I like the DiGiorno. Like the,
Oh, yeah.
the frozen ones.
I love DiGiorno.
Is that not better than like ordering Domino's?
It's not delivery. It is DiGiorno, but it's pretty good. I gotta give you that.
Wait, what's the square one?
Oh, I hate those.
Elio's?
No, Lido's.
Yeah, that's a chain.
Lido's. It's a chain in Maryland. Yeah, I should have put Lido's. Do you like Lido's?
I do not. I like a round pizza. I like folding the pizza in half. I don't want a square pizza.
Okay, Jets is square pizza, but it has all corners. So
I like that.
I mean that
That's good.
Detroit pizza that we get, the 313 or whatever.
yeah, that one's. But that's
That's
independent.
yeah, a
chain.
whole different thing.
Yeah. So I found out that Lido's doesn't. The crust they use is almost like a pastry crust, So
It is very thin.
It doesn't have to rise, so they can make way more pizzas way faster, or something like that.
Interesting.
Like that was the idea behind it.
Oh, they suck.
Yeah.
Someone brought it after the marathon, and it was cold. It was just like a tile of pizza, and I was like,
Yeah.
I took
It's
two
almost like you
bites.
had
and I
to
was like,
stack
yeah, here you go.
stack pieces to make a piece. But I was surprised at Domino's, but I think I have to agree. Papa John's has really gone downhill over the last 10 years. Little Caesars is just kind of, if you're hammered drunk, that's what you want to get. And then Pizza Hut, I think there's a lot of nostalgia there that keeps it in the running. But I personally would take Jets over all of them. If you're in the Midwest, you got to try it. It's good.
All right.
All right.
Good to go.
Look out for the next poll.
Yeah, I'll try to think. What's a good poll for this week? Do you have any idea? We'll have to think about
I'll
it.
think on it.
Okay.
I'll get some really good.
Yeah, but people really love the Emma Bates podcast.
She's a great guest.
A lot of positive comments on that one.
I still want an alpaca named Thomas.
Yeah.
That'll probably happen.
That would be an honor.
Tommy the alpaca.
Yeah. Eat your ham, Tommie.
Yeah. Tina, eat your ham. All right. Anything else today?
That's it.
I think that's.
Oh wait, you know
gone
what?
long
I
enough.
got one for you. Here's our poll,
Okay.
and then we can go. The movie you would like to watch the most pre-marathon, the night before the marathon.
Oh, okay.
Like we always watch. We've brought it up before. We love a Will Ferrell movie. It doesn't matter. It always seems to be the
Talladega Nights is usually on at some point
Okay.
anywhere.
Yeah, that's a great one. They're on many levels.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that
for
one.
sure.
I also like. What was that one where they go to Vegas and they lose their friend?
The Hangover.
The Hangover. That's
You
a
like
good
the
one.
first one?
Yes.
That was like Kofuzi.
Only the
That
first
was like Kofuzi in Chicago. He created his own movie.
Oh, I have one last thing to say
You
too.
think he's gonna make it to this part?
Yeah,
You think so?
1000%. Which is, I'm also hoping that Jarrett makes it to this part because
that
I
dude-
just want to say, suck it, Jarrett. You lost in fantasy this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You beat Jarrett.
And you know what? We didn't get to talk about it last week, but Megan lost for the
Ugh,
first time
Yeah,
last week.
That's why we didn't talk about
She
it.
is now 5-1.
Yeah.
Who'd she
Yeah.
lose to?
She lost to the best person possible,
Okay.
her own husband.
Man, that's rough.
Yeah.
All right.
And we had everything banked on it. Like if I beat her, now I don't have to do anything around the house. So
And how is that different?
Nothing changed.
All right.
all right, peace out.
Bye.
Hi, Mom.